Sorry. Can't stand that washing machine. Okay, I'm sorry. Distractions. All right. So hi everybody. I'm Donna Praska, psychic medium, and I hope everybody's doing well today. And I hope my washing machine behaves because it's very unbalanced. All right. Okay, so hello everybody. Today that I want to talk about a few things. Let me just go over briefly what they are. Again, I apologize because my washing machine is out of balance and there's like a demon banging in the machine right now. All right. All right. So what I hope my volume is up. Hope everybody can hear me okay. All right. So what I'm going to be chatting about today is a few things. First, and I mentioned it before on my profile page, if you follow me, is these Color Cures cards. These are self-healing empowerment cards, one of a kind that I designed. Hi, Joanne. Hello. Hi, everybody. So I'll be chatting about these cards that I designed, about this amazing deck of cards that I bought, and this Moldavite necklace that I'm wearing. So I will try to stay focused as my washing machine remains out of balance. I'm going to put the mojo on that machine. Okay. So welcome everybody. Thank you for joining me. So in 2014, when I mean, I've been on this journey my entire life, but in 2014, I guess you can call it awakening. I don't know what the word is. Just exploded with all kinds of stuff. Very overwhelming in a good way, but still, you know, it's crazy. And so anyway, so just a quick intro if you guys don't know who I am. My tagline, name of my publication, website, book is From Color to the Cosmos inside the mind of a medium. Now, the reason for that is the color part of myself is I've been in the design field for over 30 years, interior designer specializing in color, healing. I designed color palettes for homes, but not just, color trends, healing color palettes. I zoned in, with the woo woo and really tapped into the soul of my clients and found out what they really needed in their home to feel better, to make their home feel better. So that's the color part. And the cosmos part is the psychic medium part of me as well. Now, the worlds recently blended where psychic medium, side of me up front and center. But the color part, kind of took a twist where strongly talk about auras and chakras and really fun woo woo stuff, which is right up my alley. So that's that. Oh, yeah, Joanne says, good morning. And Walter, yeah, Walter's like right over here. I don't know if you could see him. There he is. That's Walter. All right, guys. So in 2014, I sat with my angels, guides team, whatever you want to call it. And I asked, what am I supposed to be doing? Because sometimes you're doing all these things, you're doing cards and crystals and your regular job and your house stuff and all these things. And you just want to focus on a few or one thing. So I said, guys, what am I supposed to be doing? Can you help me out? I'm getting a little overwhelmed here. And so I heard, just do what you love. I'm like, no shit, I'm going to do what I love. Yeah. But unfortunately, I love a lot of things, so can you give me a little focus? I am asking to give me focus. I don't know if it's a wise thing to demand information from the team, the spiritual team, but why not? Why not? So anyway, so I did that. I kind of was very stern about receiving the answer. And I said, can you be specific? I would like to know from you guys, what am I supposed to be doing? And I clearly heard color cures. I'm like, oh, I like that. I don't know what it is, but I like it. So so here I am still in the interior design career world. I'm like, okay, color cures. I will design these amazing colors for homes, holistic hues, healing hues, which is fun. I did very well doing that. But it didn't feel like I was in the right direction. It was okay for then, but it didn't feel like I was in the right direction. So after, I don't know, a couple months, a year, whatever it was, I'm like, guys, here I am again. And I said, you know what? You answered my question, fine, but seriously, what is color cures? And then I don't know if I can't remember if it was an insight, a vision, what I heard. I saw cards. I'm like, cards. I'm like, color cures? Color cure cards? I'm like, you want me to design cards? And it resonated with me. I'm like, wow. I said, I've never done that before. It has to do with color and all the things that I love, artwork and design and color and chakras and woo woo. And I'm like, okay, I'll do it. So that's how these color cures cards were born. If I'm not going to go into it too much now because it's a little complicated. If you want to find out more about this on my publication, somewhere in there on the top is a brief summary of what I just said, and you can really, find out more about them there. All right, so I'm going to talk about those in just a minute, but I just want to say hello, everybody, again, and welcome. All right, so I said that I wanted to talk about two things: my Moldavite necklace and these cards that I got in my travels. This past weekend was a trip, states away that I dreaded for months. I knew it was coming up, and it was just a lot of stress and anxiety. Family, and we were going to a wedding, which we needed to do, but it was just family stuff, and I was me and my husband were just stressing over it big time, really big. So I'm glad it's over. It's a big release for me, and, it's still take I mean, just because a weekend is over doesn't mean it just instantly releases. I'm doing a lot of, digital art that you'll see on my page, and I got a new iPad. Thank you, Santa Claus. I got a new stylus pen with that because, of course, the old one doesn't fit, doesn't work, so I had to go out and buy a new one, so thank you, Santa Claus. So, doing a lot of release through color. Again, we're getting back to color cures. This is all tied in. And so I'm going to talk about those cards in just a second. But during my travels, I want to show you these cards. Now, my husband always talks about Bucky's, some kind of commercial, ridiculous, big ass restaurant in the South. And I had no idea what it is. So we finally got to a Bucky's and, it's so stupid. And, um, it was commercial. I don't go for those commercial places. First of all, it was packed and you can get, beef jerky and food and barbecue sandwiches and tchotch and all kinds of crazy stuff. All I wanted was cards. No matter where I go, I collect cards, just to remind me of souvenirs. Okay. Plus I can do readings with them, which I really, really love. And these are super cool because they're foil. And I have gold foil ones that my son bought me when he came back from Japan, but these are silver. Look how cool they are. And they're just really pretty. Oh, I love these. So, I just want to pull one. I didn't even properly mix shuffle this deck yet because it's so brand new, but I just want to pull one card. They even sound nice, because they're foil. They're crispy. They're like an autumn leaf. Okay, here we go. 10 of diamonds. You know, everybody has their own toolbox knowledge of numerology. I am not a numerologist by any chance, way, shape, or form, but through classes and courses I took, I do know, um, basic 1 through 10, that kind of stuff. Plus, I go highly on intuition. And so anyway, 10 of diamonds. Diamonds represents um, financial elements, material things, and 10 is a great number, but it's even better when you get rid of the zero and it goes down to number one. So I can talk about this card for an hour, but uh, what I'm going to chat about right now, in just like 5 seconds, is that the riches in life come from within. Boom. That's all you have to say. Like I said, I can go for a really long time about one card, but today's live is not about those cards. It's about these. So anyway, 10 of diamonds. The materialistic things in life. We're not talking about money. We're not talking about diamonds or career or whatnot. In this case, it's just, again, that card was for me. It is to enjoy the material. No, the riches in life that are not material, the ones that are found within, like the love of a pet or the enjoyment of a necklace, cards that we bought, solitude, going outside, whatever the things that you love are. Those are the riches in life. Enjoying the small things in life, and enjoying them. All right, so those are my cards. Let me just put them away before they slip all over the place, because they are very slippery, being that they're foil. Okay, I'm going to put those away. Now, let me chat about this necklace real quick again before I start into my color cures. Moldavite is this crazy stuff. I got this years ago and knew nothing about it. This is what I'm saying, guys. When you trust your intuition 100%, amazing things happen. And I don't know, somehow along the way, I heard or read somebody say something about Moldavite. Like, well, what is that? And I quickly looked up on it, research what it was. I'm like, okay, I'll buy one somewhere. So they're not cheap and they're really hard to find. You can't really see it, but it's green. You know what? Hold on 1 second while I get a flashlight. Hold on, guys. Sorry about this. Yeah. All right. So it's green, and if I can maybe, oh, ooh, I don't know if you could see. Sorry about this, guys, but yeah, you can't really see it. But if you take a flashlight or even your phone and put it behind this, it's like green, beautiful green. It's basically a piece of glass that formed when a meteor 15 million years ago came blasting out of space and hit what is now the Czech Republic and formed Moldavite. Now, the cool thing is, I am Czechoslovakian. How about them apples? And this is a very good example of how we should buy our own crystals. Nobody should gift you crystals, because they are they are bought, or should be bought, solely on frequency and in sorry, I hear like what is that sound? Hold on 1 second. Telling you guys, been hearing all kinds of crazy stuff. Sound like a spaceship just landed, and which is interesting because they say that Moldavite is very, like aliens and stuff, which I am very much into aliens. As a matter of fact, I'd like to redirect you to my publication again and find the story way on the bottom. The alien that touched my nose. True story. They're all true stories. All right. So going back to Moldavite, and I make this little, I don't know if you could see it. See, isn't that super pretty? I even did the wrapping on it, which is I've never done that before, but I just did it. Super fun. The thing with this one, it is so I don't know if powerful is the word, but I can't wear it more than 2 or 3 days. Cannot wear it with another necklace. It's got to be by itself. It's green. It represents the heart chakra, but so much more. All right, guys. So that's Moldavite. All right, so let me just start chatting about. Oh, one more thing. We're coming up on a new moon. I think on December 20th. So that's really cool. If you're into the moon phases, and what I like about that we're having a new moon in like 2 days. Yeah, 2 days. Is that we're at the end of the year. Now is the perfect time to start thinking about what your new would be. And again, going back to my posts, the one that I have pinned to the top of my publication is the word that I've picked for 2026, which is surrender. Guys, I am hearing, well, it's like when you buy a car, you buy a blue car and you see blue cars all over the place. I am seeing the word surrender all over the place, and it is a powerful word. Powerful, and it's not weak, like, ooh, I surrender. It's just sit with that word when you meditate and feel what that word means. Okay. So here, let's talk about color cures. All right. So back to the beginning of this live. I had mentioned in 2024, I had asked my guides, what am I supposed to do? They said, do what you love. I'm like, be more specific. And after like a year or so, I heard color cures. And then I realized it was cards that they wanted me to design. These cards were a pain in the butt to design. I'm telling you. I'll tell you why in just a second. I think there's only like 30 of them or 33. This deck of cards does not exist anywhere else. It's been 100% channeled. If it doesn't exist somewhere in the world, I haven't seen it. So what it basically is on these cards, and they're decent size, like the size of your hand. On the front of these cards is a emotion, and a not a pleasant emotion, like negative ones, and I'll rattle them off in a second. Okay, and along with the emotion that's on front of the card, for example, let me show you the very first one, number one, addiction. There's a picture that I designed. This was all designed on a digital art on an iPad. So I would have to get into clairvoyant mode and visualize, what does addiction look like? We know what it feels like. We know what it is, but what does it look like? And that's what I had to do with each and every one of these cards. And I'll go over them in just a moment. But here is addiction. And I think this one has, if you could see, it's a little like a glass of wine. And there's many addictions, from drugs to alcohol to whatever's. And, but in this particular one, you could see that there's a little glass of wine and the rest gets blurry, which symbolizes the addiction of drinking too much. How our whole world just gets all blurry and foggy, and we don't remember, what's going on, and, that kind of stuff. So here we go. On the front of the card is an emotion. And on the back, this is where it gets really cool. On the back of all these cards are colors, a series of colors and patterns of how to heal the emotion that's on the front of the card. So on the back is these pretty colors. And again, I had to get into clairvoyant mode and say, okay, now that I know what addiction looks like, what colors do we need to heal that? Thank God I'm clairvoyant. I mean, I think my stars, every day. I'm like, thank God, just for this third eye, this very strong third eye, so I can do cool stuff like this. But so I saw these colors. It was a combination of white and green and pink and just a swirl. It was like a movement, a very soft movement. And on top of that, and guys, if you have any questions, just type them in on the side, and I can try to answer them. So, and on top of that, there is a little box here that has a channeled message. So the front is channeled, the back is channeled, and you have a channeled message. This one says, all right, again, we're on addiction. This one says, your heart is the center of your soul. Say out loud, I love you. Okay, well, that's all unicorns and lollipops, which is fine and dandy. What does that mean? I guess, and it would be different for everybody, but in the case of an addiction and trying to heal whatever addiction that you have, to retreat back to the heart chakra and perhaps say, why am I not loving myself enough to get my act together? Or how can I love myself enough to get over my addiction? Why do I have this addiction? Again, once we get into the heart, center of the chest, center of our soul, and find out what's going on in there, then we'll discover those little spots, those little black spots that sometimes I see on heart chakras, holes that perhaps was a trauma. And that trauma led to an addiction. This is so complicated. We're just on card one. I'm not going to go through all the cards in such detail, but I just wanted to explain how these cards work. So that's why these cards. Hi, everybody. Everybody just joined. Hello, Amanda. Hello. That's why these cards are so complicated, and they took me so long to design. Again, I have 33 of these. You just saw the one that said addiction. And so you have the front of all these, and then you have the back, and then you have the channeled message. All right, so I'm going to just tell you the what cards I have. If one of these emotions resonate with you, I would be more than happy to read this card for you. But just give me a minute, and I will just tell you the emotions that I have on these cards. And actually, the way these work, and just to back up a bit, along with these cards, there is a PDF that explains, and this is like 15, 25 pages or something, one side that explains how these cards work. So these eventually will be for sale. I only have 11 of these. I mean, I have more, but I opened them and they're like all over my office. And so for anybody who purchases these cards, there's only 11 of them. I'm not going to be printing anymore. And you get a PDF to figure out, how to use them. But basically what it is, how you work them is you take all these cards, and there's 33, and you put them out on a table and you just look at them, and whichever illuminate the illusion says, can we buy your cards? Yes. Amanda, like I just said, that I have 11. I've had these in my desk for a while. And yeah, there's going to be 11 of them for sale. But we'll talk about that later, or you can always direct message me if you're interested in them, and I can give you all the details. But anyway, the way that these work is that you lay all these cards out on the table, and you look at what you're supposed to do is feel which card you're drawn to, and then look at what it says on the bottom. All right, so aggression, confusion. Again, as I go through these cards, look at the colors and the graphics that go along with it. Confusion. boredom. Now I love this particular card because I'm like, okay, what does boredom look like? And gray instantly came to mind as a interior designer. When I see gray in people's home, I'm like, boring, boring, dull, lifeless, cemetery, death. You know. But then again, on the other side, gray is needed when we need balance in life. Let me just talk about this card a little bit more. So here we have gray, and we have some kind of graphic in the center, just circles, circles, circles. So boredom, doing the same thing, patterns, same thing. Do as a matter of fact, this is interesting because I was just talking about changing timelines on my profile page this morning, and it's about boredom. I did it today. Change your timeline. Do not do the same thing every day. When you get out of bed, I know a lot of people, the first thing they do is pick up their phone. Then they go to the bathroom. Then they go to the kitchen. They take care of the pets, the family, whatever. They make coffee, change it up. I totally changed mine up today. I got out of bed, did some exercises. I took a shower first, then fed the cats. Then, I mean, everything was out of order. And today feels good. It's like a new day. It's a new day. This goes back to the new moon that I was just talking about. This is how you create a timeline. This is how you step into the power or the energy frequency of the new moon, by changing a timeline, by doing something new, getting out of your boredom. Stop the patterns. There are so many patterns in life, some of them that we don't like, and then some of them which are not good for us. So anyway, boredom, okay? It's gray. It's the same thing over and over and over. And I have a very short attention span. So this is not good for me. So what it is on the back is this. Again, this particular one is an actual painting that I did. On some of these cards are actual paintings, but most of them are digital art. But that's an actual painting that I did. And what's it say? Finding your inner child rekindles your restlessness. How fun, right? Look at these colors. They're pink, they're yellow, they're orange, they're purple. They're the higher chakras. Gray, black, dense, lower. They're the lower chakras, the lower density. On the bottom, brighter, lighter colors. Right away, just visually, it's taking you up. And just this girl here, with her arms up in the air. How fun is that? Inner child, do fun stuff. This is interesting because this is how my mind works. Before I started this live, for some reason, I added something to my desk that I wanted to talk about, but I wasn't quite sure how it was going to fold into this conversation that I was talking about cards. That object, while we're talking about inner child, is this. My crayons, which I love. And I literally just put them here again at 29 minutes ago. So you know, I just great example of how you need to follow your intuition. And I'm like, okay, I heard place your crayons on the table. I'm like, ooh, we'll be chatting about crayons today? How? This is how. Break your boredom, tap into your inner child, be silly, be fun, color, paint, you know, go outside and skip or jump or, you know, do finger painting, something silly, something that you did back in your day. I just want to read what Amanda says, illuminate the illusion. She says, everything changed today. Not had a shower, slowed down completely as pouring with rain, although not good as bored and not being creative, but also aware of the need to slow down and actually be okay with this place. Maybe need to be silent and still. Wrote about this lonely place this morning. Y- That's great, Amanda. I love that. And it's okay to do nothing for a day. Don't shower. Don't shower for the weekend. Read books, watch TV, color, you know, or literally do nothing. It's good for the mind, body, and spirit. Thank you for that, Amanda. Perfect. All right, so here we go. Boredom. Let me just make sure I don't get these cards out of order. Okay, anger. Now look at this anger card. Again, here we have this is what anger looks like to me. It's red. Sorry about the glare. It's red, black. It has sharp edges. Again, red can be a great color. It's passion. It represents love, yet it also represents hate and fierceness. Everything has balance. These, modalities, scales, right? So this is what anger looks like to me. Anxiety. Now this is really pretty. I love this graphic. I normally don't have anxiety. It's not one of my things that I have often, but once in a while. But here it just, and these colors are good, but it's just like these colors are all over the place in every direction. Yet there's some spiky things in here. They look like little stars, but there's spiky things. Anxiety. So it's just a lot of color, a lot of things going on. This direction, this direction. You guys with anxiety, you might understand this. Okay? Balance. I was talking about balance before. Here we have a card that's not reflection, that's half gray, half white, and a swirl in the middle. Sometimes we go on this side of black. Sometimes we go on this side of white. It swirls around. Everything is in balance. Oh, this is interesting. As I'm looking at the back of the card, what did I say before about the boredom card that was gray? Sometimes we need gray in our life, and that's exactly what's on the back of this. Gray. This is where gray comes in good, when it's good. And it says dualities find their place when oneness is expressed. Clearly not my words. I don't speak like that. So that definitely is a channeled message. Hope that resonates with you. But when we're searching for balance in life, and it's hard, it's really difficult, to find balance in love, in career, in home, in self. That sometimes we need just to sit with gray until just sit with gray until everything just levels out, flat lines. And once, because the scales do this, right? So once the scales are finally like this, and you can clearly think of what it is that you want to do. I need to revisit these cards. I should have done that before I did my live, right? Okay, so here we have blocks. Writer's block, and you guys are writers, right? So, you know, and it's interesting. I didn't quite realize it until now. I kind of chose a orange hue for this, orange and red, mostly orange. Orange, we're going to the chakras, um, is where our creativity center is, our emotions. So, for you writers, if you have a block, this is what you may feel like. You may start off in one direction, then go this way. Nope, nope. And you try different directions of where you want to, express your creativity. Do you want to write? Do you want to create art? Do you want to sing? Do you want to dance? Whatever your creativity center is, every time you try something, you get stopped. You're like, nope, that's not it. Nope, that's not it. And that's an awful feeling. I know when sometimes when I try to paint, whether it's digital or actual art, I'm like, okay, I want to paint today. Cricket, cricket, cricket. I'm like, darn it. It happens. So what's it say on the back? All right. So on the back is here we have all the chakras, which when all the chakras work together, and what's it say? When the mind, body, and spirit exist as one, all is aligned. I love that. And it's basically true. Once you are aligned with yourself and you release that stress, that pressure of having to create, and you just sit back and chill. It's like, oh, you know, I'm just going to chill. Then you're allowing your mind, to open up and create and write. So you writers out there who have blocks, this one's for you. That's what your blocks look like. And I probably would see this if I do chakra readings, which I love to do. But again, it's all about the chakras. Everything always goes back to the chakras. Um, the way you feel, the way you act. And by the time I've said this before, by the time a body part hurts, a chakra is already out of balance. Get those color wheels in line. And there's ways to do it. I talk about this all the time. And once they are fairly lined up, you'll feel better and your blocks go away magically. All right. Confusion. This is what confusion looks like to me. Again, great colors, but they're all over the place. And they have kind of sharp, pointy edges. There's no rhyme or reason to this pattern here. It looks confusing to me. Okay, now this one's kind of cool. This is daydreaming. You would think that daydreaming would be a bad emotion, but it can be. When your head is up in the clouds too much, that could be a problem. That's when your what you call it, crown chakra is a little out of balance, and you're daydreaming too much, and when your head's in the clouds, no, not too good. You need to again, we're talking about chakras, root chakra. Get grounded to balance out your crown. All right, guys, this next one, I'm telling you, depression. Look at that card. What's funny? These cards were designed. I remember this years ago. I was on my way to Florida, and that's a good, 3-4 states away from where I live. And so I had a long trip. So I brought my iPad with me, and I just went into, a clairvoyant zone, and I designed all of these. Thank God, I had my iPad, and I had that time, big time slot to design these. But depression, look at this. If you look closely, you see an eye. You see an angel here, and you see tears. Oh my gosh, this just hurt my heart. See, these emotions are so strong that if you're sensitive like I am, you're going to feel these. You are going to feel these. Look at this again. This is depression. Again, it's in black and white. There's a really bad dark spot right here, like an explosion, some kind of sad. I don't even remember drawing that eye. I can't even draw eyes. This is crazy stuff. I'm telling you. All right. Telling you. All right. The next card, and we're in card number 11. There's 30 of them, so sit tight. Don't go anywhere. This is disoriented. Not quite sure how that's different from confusion, but it is what it is. I don't know. So that's what it looks like. Beautiful colors. I love this. But there's a reason for I don't have to read the back of this. Disoriented. And I don't mean like if you have like dementia or a health issue or um inner ear issues, nothing health related, just in your thinking, in the way you're leading your life if you're disoriented. Okay? And on the back, this is crazy stuff, which is kind of cool. And what's it say? Tap into your core to stabilize your center. Okay, that looks like root chakra and solar plexus. Not quite sure, but that's what I channeled when I designed this card. Tap into your core, stabilize your center. Well, think about that. If you're off balance, we're talking about physically disoriented. You know, just hold on to your core and just find your balance. Why are you disoriented? Why are you confused? What's going on in your life? Step back, recenter, and figure it out and think. Which of these cards were complicated? All right, next one, card number 12, ego. Look at those happy little faces. I love that. Ego is yellow. We're talking about the solar plexus here. Ego is not always bad. Sometimes we need ego, whether we're speaking in large groups or going to work, doing a presentation, going live, and a lot of people are shy. I'm not. And so there's a little part inside that you have enough ego to say, yeah, I'm going to do this and I'm going to like it. It's going to be fun. So that's where ego comes in, and you need it. It's ego is not a bad thing, but it definitely can be. This card, if your ego is a little bit too big, it'll tell you how to balance it. Okay, entrapment. Look at that one. Almost like you're stuck behind a webbing. Great colors, beautiful colors. But the way they're lined up and designed, I feel just looking at this that I'm literally stuck behind all these colors. And that's entrapment. Again, if you just joined, these are Color Cures cards that I designed. I only have 11 decks, and they will be for sale in the States only. Sorry, guys. All right, next card number 14, envy. Green with envy. Not a good thing to have. Not a good thing to have envy. I mean, again, it's all about balance. You can be envious of someone's like, oh, the person has such a, great career or whatever, and be happy for them, which is good. But if you say, that person has a really good career, and why can't I have that? Why do they have it and I don't? See the difference? So if you're green with envy in a bad way, oh, let me show you the back of this. All right. So there's a way to cure it. Again, all these cards are about Jessica, you're number 11. Good for you. Jessica Joseph just joined. She is viewer number 11. Jessica. Very nice. Today's a good day for you, Jessica. You know what, Jessica? Because that's so special. If you want, I'd like to pull a card for you. Give me permission to do that for you, Jessica. Just a quick card from my regular deck. I'm going to wait just a minute to Jessica if she would like a card or if she'll say pass. So, Jessica, let me know. I'm going to keep those cards on the side until I hear from her. All right. Where was I? All right. Envy. Green with envy is not a good thing to have. And to heal it, again, this is about color. Green. Here we go. Hold on 1 second, guys. On the opposite side of the color wheel, green, we have red. That's how we do a lot of healing with the opposites in color. So here we go. Red will heal grief. And it says, set your focus inward and love the qualities that you have, not your neighbor, not the Joneses, not anybody else, that you have. So you're not envious in a bad way of other people. So cool. I like that. Okay. Card number 15. We're moving right along because I'm going along here. So I'm going to move quickly. Here we have exhaustion. Again, it's gray. Failure. Those little white specks feels like I tried this and failed. I tried this and failed. Like each one of those white platforms of things you've tried and you've failed. And there's a way to heal that. Super. Okay. Fear. Card number 17 out of 33. Fear. Spooky, spooky. Don't be afraid of those ghosts, by the way. All right. Focus. This is from an actual painting that I did, but I just took it out of focus. If you need focus in your life, there's a way to heal that. Guys, this next card. This is the only card in the entire deck that I had trouble with. I didn't, and let me tell you what it is. It's grief. And that is what grief looked like to me at the time. At this time, when I designed this card, I didn't have grief yet. It was only until like 3 years ago that 7 or 8 people in my family died within an 18-month period. So I know grief. But when I designed this card, I did not know what that felt like. So I really, really had to dig deep in. And I'm not going to show you the back of this card because it's a special card. But I really had to call in my team and ask for more information on this card. Alexi says, are some emotions marked as negative? Yeah, they all are. All these cards in this deck are kind of negative. And Jessica, if you're still here, I'm waiting to pull a card for you because you are number 11. Yeah, they're all negative emotions. Ones that everybody struggles with every day, and we'd rather not. So, and there's a way to heal it, and it's with color. So yes, they are negative cards, negative emotions. Haste. This is it from an actual painting I did about time, actually. So really cool painting, 100% channeled, portals and all kinds of fun stuff in it. All right, card number 21 out of 33 or 32. I don't even know how many are in here. Impulsive. Yep. Gotta be careful with that one. Card number 22, hypocrite. I know I could raise my hand for just about all these cards, so they're really good to have around because if I'm in a crap mood one day, I just pull one of my own cards. I'm like, okay, how do I feel better? And that's what these cards do. All right, card number 23, insincere. Insincere. Well, that is kind of pretty. That's an angel in there actually, but there's a story behind that one. Oh, okay. Card number 24, loneliness. Loneliness. We've all experienced this one on some level. Illuminate the illusion, Amanda says, but I've been told no emotion is negative or positive. We all have them and it's how we use them. Well, yeah, but emotions are either negative or positive. Love, joy, happiness, that's positive. Negative, hate, anger, disrespect, jealousy. Those aren't too good. So yeah, they are positive and negative emotions. Absolutely. I love that, Amanda. Difference between loneliness and solitude. Two very different. Loneliness. Let me get back to my lonely card. Where'd it go? I don't know where it went. Oh, it's in my hand. Sorry. Loneliness, broken heart, not good. It's you go through life by yourself for whatever reason, and there's many reasons. To be lonely is it's rather low vibrational, and it hurts the heart and affects the mind, body, spirit, and we're not meant to be alone. We are people that are meant to tribe. Yet solitude is something we choose. We may not choose loneliness, but solitude, which I love, I need, and I prefer. Solitude is something that we choose. So if I choose solitude, I'm a Cancer. I love being at home. I love being by myself, away from big crowds. Don't get me wrong. Back in the day, growing up in New York, I was all about the parties and whatnot. But that's a silly little kid growing up, which is fine. But as an adult, solitude every day, all day long. Well, not really. I mean, I do enjoy my friends and going out and whatnot, but on a very small scale. Solitude comes from grace with God. Well, wherever you find your solitude, that's perfect. Sounds good. All right, so that's loneliness. And we're going to wrap up soon, guys. I'm sorry this is going so long. Ooh, pretty colors. Unmotivated. Again, for you writers, if you're unmotivated, there's a way to get that motivation going with color. All right, nausea. Yuck. Green. Okay. Yeah, sometimes we're nauseous or have nausea for whatever reason, whether we ate something, whether we have a emotion within us that physically gets us sick. Yes, there's all kinds of shenanigans that go on with this card right here. Pain. Yep, yep, that's pain. Regression. Sometimes we do things in life. We make progress again. Since we're on Substack, I'm going to talk about writing. We make progress. We do chapters and chapters and chapters. Then something happens, and we're like, nope, don't want to write about that. Don't want to share that at this time. And then you go back to the drawing board. So, that's rough because we put all that energy into writing and producing, and it's energy. And then we take that energy away. We delete it because we're starting over. So now we feel like a failure because we're regressing. But but it may not be a failure because there's a reason we regressed for whatever reason. Regret. Oh, yes, regret. Shoulda, coulda, woulda. Sorrow. Mm-mm-mm. Yep. Shame. And last card, vanity. All right, guys, I am 52 minutes in. Usually I'm only 30. So sorry that I've, rattled on for so long, but I hope you enjoyed it. All right. So I didn't hear from Jessica. I did want to pull her a card because she was person number 11 that joined. So that's super special, but I cannot pull a card for anybody unless I have their permission. So anyway, Jessica, thank you for joining. All right, guys. Wrapping up, color cures. The kitty. I walked her. I only have 11 of these left. I will not be designing anymore. They're complicated. Oh, Juliana, this is wonderful. Thank you so much. I am so glad you guys are here. I enjoy doing these. And these cards are super special. They're very complicated cards. And I'm sorry, but they're only going to people within the United States because of shipping and expense. Because as they're going to start off a little expensive because of how complicated they are. It's like getting 2.5 cards rolled into one. You have a front, you have a back, and you have a channeled message. And you have a really intense, long PDF that tells you how to use these cards. So, guys, thank you so much. Thank you. Thank you for joining me today. And I don't know what next Thursday is, but I try to do these lives on Thursday because I super love them. And I always have a lot to chat about. And I appreciate all of you guys being here. And I'm going to sign off for now. Enjoy the holidays, whichever holidays that you. Oh, I do want to say one more thing before I go. That speaking of holidays, and I wrote about this on my. Thank you for the hearts. I wrote about this on my page, my profile. Every year for New Year's, Hubs and I have been going to somebody else's house for music, live music, great food, which is all amazing. But 2026 is about surrender. It's what my soul wants to do. Joanne says, I love the idea of using these cards to see the challenge and to use the opportunity for healing. Yes, Joanne, thank you. These are self-healing empowerment cards. And also, and it said it in the PDF, these are not really to be shared with other people, guys. It's not like, oh, I'm going to read a card for you guys today. No, it's for you. These are self-healing. I don't recommend that you give these cards to your friends. It's just for you. These are the only deck of cards that you'll probably own that you don't tell anybody you have. You don't share them. They are for you. Okay. Juliana says, thank you. I believe everything on this episode was timed correctly. Yes, I saw your profile of your cabin. Beautiful. Oh, thank you. Yes, let me just finish that thought. Thank you for reminding me to finish my thought. So anyway, these are people that we've known for 10 years plus, whatever. And they invite us to their home, to their really big 10,000 square foot home with a band inside that's amazing and tables and tables of food. It's an amazing event. However, I'm going back to the word surrender, and it's so strong that It's from within. What do I want to do for myself? What does my soul need? What I just got chills. What does my soul need? What do I need to heal? What do I need to move forward? I am putting me first. Surrender. Major chills. All right, guys. Thank you so much. And Merry Christmas, Happy Holidays, whatever it is that you celebrate. I will be not going to that party I was talking about. My husband and I are going to our cabin in the mountains in the middle of nowhere and chilling. We're going to eat what we want. We're going to do what we want. We're going to watch TV. We're not going to watch TV. We're going to enjoy nature. We're going to walk on our 6 acres. We're going to feed the deer, feed the turkey, and hopefully don't run into a bear. All right, guys. Thank you, everybody, for being here. I really appreciate it. And I will see you. I don't know what even next. I'll post it here if I go live. Thank you, everybody. Bye bye.